There we go. So I think we have a few county groups and a few individuals on with us today. Thanks everybody for being here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. And I would like to introduce Carter Jasper. And he is going to lead us in a short workshop today on leading with purpose. And anybody that has had the great privilege of being in a workshop with Carter knows he has lots of energy and great ideas. And we look forward to hearing those today. So Carter, I'll let you take over and we'll go from there.
Thanks, Brett. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Yes. All right. Thanks, Brett, for that introduction. Like Brett said, I'm Carter Jasper. I'm from Mineral County, and I have the pleasure of serving as your foundation trustee and state ambassador this year. Today, also, as Brett said, we're talking about leading with a purpose. And that is the coolest sounding workshop I've heard ever. But like, when you think about it, what does leading with a purpose actually mean? And it took me a second to try to figure out what it was. Is it leading in your clubs? Is it leading in your counties? What truly is leading with a purpose? And why is it important? Why leading with a purpose is so important is because leadership is a skill that we all use, whether it's in our own personal lives, whether it's in our clubs, whether it's in our counties, or some of us even at the state level, we all use leadership. And so why do you need to lead with a purpose? Like, what does purpose even mean? I had to Google it. And when you Google the definition of purpose, what you find is reason. What is your reason for leading? Is the best way I can describe what this whole workshop is about. And hopefully today we can find your reason. So we're going to do some activities today because to lead effectively, you kind of have to know yourself. So I am going to I'm going to attempt to try and put a link in the chat. And this is, hold up. And this test, what it's going to do is it's going to tell you, okay, if that's the link, hopefully it works. And what you're going to do is you're going to first start out, and it has directions at the top of the screen, but it's going to say, you're going to pick your favorite colors, and then you're going to pick your least favorite colors. And then it's going to give you whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. And then when we get done, I'm going to explain what that means and how that might affect your leadership style. So, and if everyone, when you get done, if you can type in done in the chat, so then we can be good. And if you're in a group, I guess we'll see if your group is introverted or extroverted.
Carter, do you want to share it on the screen?
Do you want me to share mine?
Oh, so each individual needs to do it themselves?
Yes, I apologize, Brett. I guess I didn't explain that. Yes. And then also when you're done, maybe if you feel comfortable, you can type in whether you're introverted or extroverted. I don't know if you can tell. I'll give me a sneak peek. I was an extrovert. But I know, shocker of the year. But yes, so I was an extrovert. But I had some introvert colors in me, I guess you could say. But yeah.
Carter, do you have to pick all the colors?
Yes, no, you do have to pick all the colors. I learned that
keep
the hard way.
going in order.
Yes.
So like from one. Okay.
Yes. But at the end, it's once you, yeah. So yeah, you do have to pick all the colors.
So you just keep clicking on the colors in order of preference.
Correct. How's everyone's weekend going? Thumbs up, thumbs down, sideways. I got a thumbs up weekend. This morning, I was at 4-H camp counselor training for multi-county 4-H camp. I don't know if any of you are from, Western Montana. Oh, we got one done. Way to go. Laney? Is that how you say your name? Yes.
It's Lindley.
Lindley. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm awful with names.
That's
so I
okay.
apologize, but
That's
way to
okay.
go. So for the people who finished, maybe do you guys want to share whether you were a majority introvert or extrovert? So I can see kind of where this group's at.
I'll share mine.
Thanks, Brianna.
Of course, Carter. So mine says that I'm an introvert, which I don't really agree with. I just like weird colors. It says that I'm creative. I have a good imagination. I am thoughtful and deep, and I think before getting into action, and I communicate my knowledge. It also says that I have good management skills. I am a manager and a structured person, and I know how to take into account the needs of each person while leading them to fixed goals.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing, Brianna. Does anyone else want to share what they got? Maybe can I get one of the groups in either Cascade, Fergus, or Yellowstone to share? Wow. Oh,
Here's Yellowstone County. Everybody wave. And our new fancy purple shirts.
Hi, Yellowstone County.
wow.
Hey,
You
so-
guys are looking. I love the matching polos.
Oh, yeah. We just got it today.
Ooh, how fun.
All right, now I don't know where that is. Just a minute, I gotta go try to find it. Where that?
I'm gonna take a guess and say that these guys are gonna be extroverts.
I don't know, Brianna. They seem pretty reserved to me.
I don't know, Carter. I know quite a bit of those guys, and they're looking pretty extroverted to me.
I don't know. I don't venture over to Yellowstone County very often, but when I do, maybe I should hang out with them, man. They seem pretty fun.
I would almost bet my life it's gonna be extrovert.
Okay.
Actually said that we're more introverted, which we all disagree with.
These tests aren't perfect, and we'll roll with it.
What are we
To be honest, I don't think we did it right at the beginning. If we're
Yeah,
being
I think we messed up with taking it.
That's okay, because we all mess up. It's how we come back from messing up is what's the important part.
All right, we'll read
Lewis and or not Lewis and Clark, Cascade or Fergus, do you guys have anything to share?
Everybody's turning off.
55 extrovert, 45 intro. Oh, so you're pretty even. Nice job. All right. Lewis and Clark was 50-50. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. All right, so now that we did that little fun exercise, at least I had fun with it. What we're gonna do now is, you might be asking, why is knowing if you're an extrovert or an introvert important to leadership? Well, if you know yourself and what your style is to be most successful, that's how you become a more impactful leader. For me, I am not someone who loves to, sit around in a room all day and just be talked to. That's very boring for me. I like to collaborate with teammates. I like to collaborate with people because I find in collaboration, you get the most out of it, at least for me. And some people do not like to collaborate. They like to do their own thing, keep going and work by themselves. And knowing whether you're an introvert or an extrovert helps with teamwork. It helps with assigning roles and responsibilities because, some people on your team might not be people, and another person might be a people person. And so saying, okay, we need to go present to blank for maybe to try to get support for a county event. You might send the person who's more comfortable speaking to people than not. And so it's just all about feel and your team dynamic. So now, one of the most important things in leading with a purpose is goal setting. And I know for some of us, goal setting can seem quite boring and tedious. But what I've found that if you use a goal, I don't know, if you make goal setting fun, it becomes fun. So for example, what I'm going to talk about today are SMART goals. And what are SMART goals? Well, I also had to Google this one. And SMART goals are, the S stands for strategic, the M stands for measurable, the A stands for attainable, R is relevant, and T is timely. So what this does is it all comes together to make a goal that you can feasibly achieve, is the best way to describe a SMART goal. And why is this important? It's important because, you have to set expectations. Like you have to be able to set expectations. Like you can't say Carter is going to win every single 4-H event in his county, because that's not, that doesn't fall under attainable really well. Because is it really attainable for me to win every event in my county? No. And is it really attainable for any of us to win every event in our county? No, because, we can't be good at everything. So learning how to set goals that are attainable, that are feasible is really important, not just for you personally, but for your club success and your county success. Because I know that that Yellowstone County officer team seemed pretty excited and energized. And I bet they have a lot of great ideas. And so what SMART goals do is allows them to focus their ideas and make it into something where they can look back and say, wow, we can do this. And then they achieve it, and then woohoo, great. So I'm gonna pose this question to you guys, and then I'm gonna let you think about it, and then we're gonna talk about it, okay? So what are some goals that you might have for your clubs or counties, or your county? It could be whatever you want it to be. It could be, maybe increasing enrollment. It could be growing your ambassador team. I know that's something that I've wanted to do in Mineral County for a long time, is to get a bigger ambassador team so the ambassador program can do more in Mineral County. It could be growing. It could be growing enrollment in your. It could be growing enrollment in either your clubs or your counties. And how can we do that? It's just, so start thinking about that. Yeah, Brianna, if you feel comfortable sharing them out loud, you can totally do that.
Okay, so one of my big SMART goals, for another example for you guys, especially for this year, was to get more of my county members involved in team leadership and coming to like Congress and Rec Lab and all those fun events. So my specification was involving more teens in statewide events. It was measurable because I set a goal of getting at least 5 of my county members at Congress or at least one other state event this year. It was very attainable. That's very realistic. And it was timely because I put a time limit on it. So my big one was Congress. And I'm doing that by really marketing it and really making sure that everybody knows about it in my county.
Thanks, Brianna. That's pretty awesome. Does anyone else have any, they don't have to be SMART goals yet, because we're going to make some SMART goals here in a little bit. But does anyone have any, I don't know, goals or aspirations for either their club or their county, or maybe even them personally in their 4-H endeavor?
Hey Carter, so Yellowstone County Ambassadors, we want to help recruit some younger leaders in our county, whether it's for ambassadors or junior leaders, or just to be able to get them to participate more and have more of a leadership personality throughout our whole county.
That's awesome. Okay, this is great. Yellowstone County, do you mind if I use that as an example of how we can create a SMART goal?
Go right ahead, Carter.
Okay, so the specific part was you want to get more leaders in your county, young leaders.
Yeah, more young leaders.
Okay, so that's the specific part. More young leaders. Measurable. How many young leaders would you guys want? Like 5, 10?
As many as we can.
Give me a number. You got to give me a number.
27.
27.
40.
Okay, we're gonna get to realistic down in a little bit. Is 40 a realistic? You know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get there because we can always come back. So attainable. Is this attainable? Does that mean, is it, can
We think it's attainable. Because our county's big. Yeah, we have a
You have
very
a big
large
county.
county.
You're right. Okay, this is good. Thanks for typing this out for me, Brett. Okay, so we think it's attainable. Now, is it realistic? Now, in the time frame that we set, maybe let's go to timely first, because that'll see if it's realistic or not. And how long, or how much time, like, is this within a year that you want to recruit 40 new young leaders? Is it within 5 years, 6 months?
It's within this 4-H year, so 2022 to 2023.
Okay, so so throughout this next 4-H year, we want to recruit 40 new young leaders. Got it. Okay,
Yes.
okay. So I guess to see if this is realistic or not, I would ask, how many young leaders did you recruit last year to?
Well, we have 7 new ambassadors.
Well, we got 7 new ambassadors, so that's part of it.
That is awesome. Way to go.
So I'm not quite sure how many, like, on a pinpoint number, how many we got last year.
That's okay. Getting 7 ambassadors. Bravo, guys. Like, that's 10 out of 10 success. I am so hyped for you guys. Okay, so maybe, and this is just me, maybe 40 is a little high. I don't mean to burst your bubble. I really don't. I don't want to be that guy. But 40 is a lot of stinking people, man. So maybe, let's say if we got, so you got 7 ambassadors. Let's say, could we double it and get 14? So by the next 4-H year, you can have 14. Or shoot, maybe we can even add 10. Let's say you could have 17. Does this kind of make sense? Is this making sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I mean, I love 40. 40 is a great number. It's just, is it realistic? That it's the R in SMART is getting me. But I think in like 5 years, you guys will probably have like 100 with the rate that you guys are going. So go Yellowstone County. Anyone else? Does anyone else have any goals that they have?
Carter, there's one in the chat.
Oh, I have one in the chat. Okay, thank you. Increase membership activity in a. Okay, yeah, this is a great goal. Okay. Is everyone seeing this in the chat? Everyone see this in the chat? Okay, cool. I just want to make sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. So it says increase member activity at our club meetings in the sense of more volunteers to make motions and reports on events. Yeah, that's huge. You know, getting your people involved in your clubs is super important because, you know, we're all in this together in this grand 4-H adventure. And we want to make sure everyone's having a great time with us. And, you know, club meetings have the ability to be really fun and exciting and cool and everything you want it to be, or they can be really boring and drag on for what feels like centuries, and you don't want to be involved in 4-H anymore. So we want to be on the fun. We want to be fun in 4-H. So how can we do this? So the specific goal would be increase member activity in meetings. Measurable. How do we measure this? Depending on the size of your club, I don't know how big your club is. But let's say at the, what is that? March, April? It is April. At the May 4-H meeting, I want to get 2 new people to make motions that didn't last month. And is this attainable? Yeah, I can talk to 2 people and say, hey, you know, do you want to make a motion this month? And, you know, that's obtainable. 2 people is very attainable and realistic. And what you'll find is attainable and realistic kind of go hand in hand, because if it's not attainable, then usually it's not realistic. And if it's not realistic, then it's usually not obtainable. So if you check obtainable, you're probably going to be able to check realistic and vice versa. And is it timely? Yeah. I mean, my 4-H meetings are on the second Tuesday of every month. So if by the second Tuesday in May, you can talk to it's very timely. You have, you know, more than a month to talk to 2 members and get it to where you can, you know, have, yes. Like Brett said, you can, yeah, way to go, Brett. Thank you. Yeah, you can, it's a very timely goal, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. And like Brett said, and what Cassandra, my wonderful teammate Cassandra, presented on in January is Parley Pro. Parley Pro, even though it can be, you know, hard to get in your brain, Parley Pro is a challenge for me. I'm going to be completely honest with all of you. But what I've found through speaking with my extension agent, Dave Brink, and others, is that Parley Pro is super important to have meetings flow smoothly, because we don't want choppy meetings that are like, we're going forward and back to this topic and then, you know, go into this topic. Where what Parley Pro does is it just, you know, makes everything smooth. And to my friends in Fergus County, who I know are quite good at Parley Pro, they could probably show all of us a thing or two. But because that was in January and we were talking about SMART goals, we'll do that for another time. Does anyone else have any goals or aspirations that they would like to share?
We have one.
Oh, okay. Way to go, Fergus County.
Okay, so it's more of a county goal, but we want our enrollment to go up by like 15 people. And a way for us to, it is attainable, and a way that we can get more people to join is we can promote 4-H by using posters, talking to people one-on-one, using the radio, newspaper, and talking to parent groups. And our time, we would start in June and end in August, since 4-H enrollment is October.
That's awesome. That's actually really cool. I love that goal. That's a very awesome goal. And I see Yellowstone County, we want to be more involved at fair. What does that mean? Can I ask what that means? Yeah, that's awesome, Linda, like Brianna said. So Yellowstone County, do you kind of want to expand on what that means, to be more involved?
We want to do like more activities and get to speak with more of the people that do stuff with more people. And be a bigger role while we're at fair.
Have more.
Yeah.
Yeah, participation.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay. I can see that. Okay. So what's something, how can we accomplish that goal? Yellowstone County, if you want, do you guys feel comfortable making a SMART goal like Fergus County did? Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely?
Yeah. I'm not qualified here.
Hey, everyone's qualified to make SMART goals.
Well, let's do it together. Say
Okay.
your goal again.
Their goal is to be more involved at fair.
Okay.
Yes.
So specifically involved, what does involved mean? Like what specific things would people do that would mean they were more involved?
We just want to interact with more of the members and even just the visitors at fair.
Okay.
Participation in different.
So
Okay, and how would you measure this goal? Do you want to measure it by, how many 4-Hers you interact with?
Yes.
Okay, how many 4-Hers? Do you guys know how many 4-Hers you guys have at your fair?
Way too many.
Never too many.
Well, a lot. We're a big county and then we
Okay,
are.
give me a rough estimate, like 50, 100?
Way more, like.
We have like 300.
Probably over that.
Oh, okay.
Carter, don't freak out. It's fine.
I'm not freaking out, Brett. That's just a lot of 4-Hers. Okay.
Carter, they allow other people to show at their fairs too. Plus, they
Oh.
have carnival rides. So if that
I
puts it
see.
into perspective.
So is
Okay.
it something like each Yellowstone County ambassador would talk to one or
Uh,
2 or 3 or a number, one exhibitor each
I think
day
we were,
or something like that?
Like speeches.
I think we were thinking more like the events and stuff that we're planning at fair, recruit more members to participate in those.
Okay. So it's not really more interaction.
Hey guys, I have an idea for you.
Let's do it.
And Ronnie, shoot me down if I'm wrong.
Ronnie's out of
But
the room, so shot, girl.
Oh,
oh, good. She won't yell at me for this being a bad idea. Anyways, so what if you guys maybe put on like a workshop a day highlighting one of the projects that like isn't at fair, or highlighting the teen leadership project, or just giving more tips and tricks about a certain livestock project. I know that you guys have a lot going on at your fair. Me and Cassandra got to go last year and there was a ton going on all at once, but maybe that could help. Or I know that you guys have that dance. Maybe really try marketing that a little bit better. Really push it. Something like that. Invite the public. I don't know.
We have tried to do those workshops and stuff, but they were a really big challenge to get people to actually participate and then plan them.
But we are doing our dance and stuff again this year. and We
Yeah.
have other stuff planned.
Yeah, we're talking about movie night and stuff.
And game night. All
So-
those.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I guess I have a question for Yellowstone County too. So you guys are talking about you want to become more involved, and you just were talking about you didn't have many people attend your workshop. And from my personal experience, we've had some trouble marketing things because we wait too long before we start pushing things. So was it because you guys didn't market it enough, or was there just no interest in your guys' topic? That's the other thing to think about.
A little bit of both. It was hard to kind of figure out a way to promote that. We have figured out, especially after COVID, learning how to use kind of social media and stuff was a big help for us. And like our Facebook and page and everything helped a lot. That and just, I don't know, getting people to show up, I guess, was a big challenge. Just with everybody's busy schedule throughout that week, it's kind of hectic.
So it sounds like Yellowstone County really needs to spend some time setting some specific goals on how to reach those ideas. It's exactly what you said, Carter, is great, fantastic ideas, but what's your real thing that is going to come out of this that you're going to feel successful? Because I think oftentimes exactly what you're talking about is like, you just want more people involved, right? You think, oh, our goal is we just want more people. But it's really specific kinds of people. It's really, you might need to set a marketing goal and then an activity goal. So it sounds like you guys need to sit down and have some real hard conversations about what you want to accomplish and how you're going to get those into some SMART goals.
And I guess.
So Fergus County just put in the chat for you guys that they host a Farm Olympics at Fair and that they get a lot of activity from and involvement from kids doing that. If you guys went to Rec Lab, we kind of did something similar and it was a ton of fun. So maybe incorporate that somewhere. I don't know. But I agree with Brett.
I think some more like detail into it is that we have a lot of younger kids and even middle-aged kids. They're kind of just doing like the bottom line of 4-H, and we want to like kind of help them get more involved in stuff so that they're not like barely scraping by doing their projects and their record books and stuff. We want them to be more excited to do more activities.
And Yellowstone County, I am going to plug the state ambassador team here for a second. I think the state, all of us, I think I speak for all of us when I say, if you need help with anything like this is why we're here. And we love, I don't live near Billings, but I know some of my fellow officers live closer to Billings. But I am always able to help virtually. And I'm sure my other fellow teammates are also, and we can always help you with, to help solve these problems using SMART goals. So boom.
I think that I also speak in my entire team that we would be happy to set up Zoom meetings similar to this one or a phone call, something like that, where we can brainstorm with you guys and kind of get some fresh ideas.
That
Yeah,
sounds like a great idea. Thank you.
no problem. So I think it's time. I think we did SMART goals really good. And I am really impressed with all of you because this was good. This was, I feel like we had some good exercise. So now, when we're leading, it's not all about, and I know this is going to sound crazy because it does kind of sound crazy, is leadership isn't always just about, holding your club meetings, holding events, holding, stuff. It's not just about leading. It's also about building a sense of community with your club mates, with the 4-Hers in your county, and sometimes even inter-county. Like think of your 4-H camps. My 4-H county, our 4-H camp has 5 different counties in it. And so building that sense of community as a leader is almost just as important as leading itself, like leading your club meetings as ambassadors, helping clubs, getting their club leaders in a position where they can lead. So building a sense of community is super important reason to further your leadership experience. And the best way that I've found to do this is bring a little fun into your 4-H events. And this doesn't mean like, oh, be all, lackadaisical at your club meetings and be like, no, I don't need this, or, we can skip over that, but we don't, but, bring a little fun, whether that's before the meeting or after the meeting, or sometimes even taking a snack break during the meeting. You would be surprised how well that works out to refocus everyone. But what are some ways that you can, build relationships that aren't just you see people once a month in your chapter? Oh, okay, that's a good idea, Brett.
Yeah, let's switch it up a little bit and let's break out. Even though they'll be really small groups, I think it'll be easier to do
Okay.
a smaller discussion. Is that okay, Carter?
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
great.
You can finish your thought and then
Yeah,
let
I'll
me
just
know when
finish.
you wanna do that.
So like an example that my club does is we do what's called a fun trip. And so we fundraise. And so some of the surplus from our service project that we do every year goes to helping us, have a fun trip. And so, one year we went and rode go-karts and played laser tag for, like 4 hours. And it was fun. And, you gotta know the members of your club on a more personal level, and not just, because you all know the kids who are in your same projects who, you all go to your projects groups and you do like your robotics group or your cooking group or your baking group. Like, the people in there, but you really don't know everyone in your club. And this is a really good way, I find, to bring some fun into it. But it doesn't have to be going on a trip. It could be whatever you think. And so now Brett is going to break us out into different rooms, and we can talk about how can we bring fun and a sense of community to our clubs and to our counties in our 4-H programs. So send us away, Brett.
So Carter wants us to talk about how we can build community within our clubs, and then we'll expand that by talking about how we can build community and network in our counties and between clubs. So what is one way that you guys in your individual clubs get to know each other and kind of build relationships? Like, what's the main thing that you guys do? You guys want to use the chat, or if you want to unmute yourselves, whichever one you want to do. Or I can pick on one of you three. Cascade County.
Do recreational activities at the end of our meetings.
Yeah, I think that's a big one. I think a lot of us do recreational activities to get to know one another. But what about like outside of the activities? Like, what can you do outside of recreational activities to kind of get to know other people and kind of make them feel included?
So Cassandra, it's Chris. So as you know, we do community service in our club every month, and we try to choose one every other month that actually was with inside our club. So like tying blankets. So everybody grabs the side of a blanket and sits down and ties and visits and does that kind of stuff. Of course, we do roll call questions that kind of pertain to the way people feel about what's going on. Like, are they excited about spring? Have they worked on their projects? Things like that, where we can get to know what people like and what they don't like and what kind of jelly beans they like, that kind of stuff.
Yes, I love that. So I guess what I was getting at, so like the talking to each other.
Tell me all about it.
Like Farm Olympics during
Hi, Brett. Sorry, I can't hear you guys.
Speak louder. We do Farm Olympics.
Senior camp.
And senior camp. And junior camp and a lot of camps.
We do traveling farm too.
And we have a farm safety day too.
Cool. Oh, one of the things that my county ambassador team does is a project day, which is super cool because you get to kind of build relationships with the younger kids. What other cool things does your guys' counties do?
We do a Cloverbud day camp where all the Cloverbuds come and we teach them to do crafts and we do Gala games.
That's cool. How did it go this year?
We haven't done it yet.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, we had our Cloverbud camp a couple months ago.
ours is in June. Summer.
Oh, cool. Cool. What do you guys do while at fair? Like, what are your guys' cool, fun activities that you guys have at fair?
We usually have sorry. You can go first. Oh, the scavenger. Yeah, for an Olympics mostly we do a bunch of games and then we also do a pie eating contest.
Or a pig kissing contest.
Yeah. And last year we did this scavenger hunt that took you all around the fair, and if you did it, then you got free ice cream from our food group.
Cool, cool. Lena, what were you gonna say?
Our ambassadors usually do a scavenger hunt at fair, and then we also put on a teen dance at fair too.